They do.
The Arlington Fire Department.
Or they does.
They does. I don't know. I was never good at algebra. And so the fire department put a bunch of American flags on the back of their trucks, right?
This isn't the fire department that serves the area of Poughkeepsie, is it?
It's Puff.
It's Pooh.
It's G-H.
No, it's
Pooh.
Pooh. Poughkeepsie.
Pooh, little Poughkeepsie. God, they must hate that. You know, we have two listeners from Poughkeepsie right now. They're switching the dial there.
Poughkeepsie.
So they put these flags on the back of their trucks, right?
Uh-huh.
About a month ago, chief just decided, patriotic and all that stuff. Well, their police and fire board or whatever said, oh, the firemen's union paid for it. Mm. So the city said, on a vote 3-2, you got to take those off there. You didn't have permission, and we don't know what we're doing.
That's what they said?
I don't
know.
That? I don't know what the reason was. You know, I think they were citing something. Well, it's not displayed properly, or it's... I think that's what they said. It's not displayed properly, and how can you maintain and all that? And then the U.S. Fire Code was looked, and it said, yeah, it is proper, except they were a little bit off. It should have been more to the right than the left of the truck. But other than that, it was fine. So they ordered them to be taken down, and so the chief had a ceremony with the community and the firefighters, and they did it very respectfully, and they took the flags down. So we'll see what happens.
Mm.
They're going to fight to get them back on. I think it's silly. I'd like to know who the board members were.
They use them for... they can still put flags on their trucks for ceremonies and things, funerals or parades, those sorts of things. Just not in this situation? Yeah, just not...
Did you look that up? I didn't find that.
Everyday service, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, and they still have flags on their helmets.
Well, they have stickers all over, stickers.
How many flags do you need, Brian?
I don't know.
Come on. It's just a piece of cloth, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah. Excuse me. Anyways, it's just material, and it's made in China, so who cares? All right. Chicago police, 7 officers may get fired. Remember 2 years ago when Officer Jason Van Dyke, who's being charged with murder, by the way.
Yeah, I do remember Mr. Van Dyke.
He fired 16 shots at the 17-year-old African-American boy who was running from them, but got stopped, turned around quickly. He did have a knife in his hand, but he was a ways away and didn't make any kind of threatening movement. So to me, it was kind of iffy because knives are tricky. They can come at you, the 21-foot rule.
Yeah, and some of us are pretty good at throwing them.
Yes, you are when you're throwing it at a pop bottle. Ooh, scary. Anyways, they shot him. What wasn't so bad, the shooting, is that he shot 17 rounds at him, most of them when he was lying on the ground.
Yeah.
Only 2 hit him. But those 2 were good enough. But the officers are being fired or may be fired because they lied on their police report. And they made claims that didn't happen that night to support Officer Van Dyke. And it contradicted what the dash camera showed.
Yeah. Those pesky cameras.
So that's good that the Chicago police are trying to take care of that. They have a horrible reputation, right? They've been investigated by the Justice Department a couple of times.
Well, that doesn't really mean much.
Well, I'm just saying. They've had a lot of issues. And they have a lot of issues.
The Justice Department has pretty much literally taken over some of this nation's police departments, right? And they're actively running them today.
Yeah.
So,
well, they want to have a national police department.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Much like the French have. I'll get to that if
that
we have
works.
time.
We don't, but that works. Bummer, we don't have time. Sorry.
Simpsons episode.
Okay, talk about it now.
I saw a Simpsons episode that was, I think this year, it was a few months ago. I thought it was To Courier with Love. And Homer wants to take a vacation in Paris, so he agrees to take a package for someone, probably illegal. Turns out it was an Amazon blue snake, which are very endangered. Anyways, that's not the point. The point was the French police track Homer down. Of course, it's Chief Wiggums and his two buddies in French. And what was neat is I'm looking, and the officers are carrying rifles, right? The neat thing is they had it right. They were M1 carbines. And that's what the French National Police carry. Now, the military police, that's the National Police, that also operates with these other police, they carry the famous FAMAS bullpup, which is an automatic small assault type weapon. Now, the uniforms are different. The uniforms worn in the Simpsons episode looked like it was more with the military police style because they had the kepi, which is the pillbox high up cap, that you see. Where the National Police, they don't wear that type of hat. So some things right, some things wrong. I just thought it was cool. I mean, they had it drawn. You could tell it was an M1 carbine. It was really, really kind of neat. Speaking of rifles, Jim Spinella hit a 3-foot plate with a high-performance rifle. How far, Nate?
2 feet.
No, farther than that. 2.4 miles.
That's a long ways.
2.4 miles.
That's a long ways.
Might be a record. He was using a $7,000 high-performance Hill Country rifle, a .375 Shaytac rifle. I'll say that again, $7,000. And you, too, can hit a plate at 2 miles. It's really a nice high-end rifle. But can you imagine? I mean, that would be like it would be smaller than a speck of pepper. Or it would be you couldn't hardly even see that at 2.4 miles. Certainly not with a naked eye. He had to be aiming almost straight up in the air. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. I guess you're not. Are we done?
No, I think it's interesting. I was just reading.
You're reading
about
stuff.
Getting rid of wasps.
You do it. Yeah, let your neighbors deal with
it. Yeah. No, I like
them. The funny
them.
thing is it's in your hearse.
Yeah.
Which, if you get stung enough, you could end up being in. Do you want us to use that for your funeral?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you do that?
I will.
Yep. That'd be great.
I'd be happy to.
Thanks.
Mexico has one gun store, right? Really quick?
Yeah.
One gun store.
It's
in like the middle of the frickin' country.
United States of America.
It's, yeah. One huge gun store.
Very large. Very large. Ran by the ATF.
I think we've talked about this years ago, but it's on a military base. And you have to go through all kinds of, qualifications. Now, they say that gun ownership is enshrined in the Mexican Constitution, but the provision also empowers the government to regulate. So you can only have a .30 caliber or smaller and shotguns up to 12 gauge. You can have one handgun for home protection, and if you're in a shooting club, up to 9 rifles. Now, the colonel who runs this says, we'd rather you not buy guns. It's preferred not to have a gun, even at home, because there could be accidents, or worse, accidents in families, due to the mishandling of weapons. It's like having a match close to a fire. He says, it's the obligation of the state to provide security to people who live in the country, not for you to take justice into your own hands.
Oh, yeah, that's understandable.
Doesn't that sound familiar, though? That's my point. That's why I wanted to bring it up. They have a constitution, like we have a constitution.
They do.
The government is apparently allowed to control. We do. And the Democratic and liberals say the police will protect you. It's exactly the same thing. We're going to be Mexico if Hillary Clinton gets elected. Mark my words.
Mexico's going to be a very large country.
Yeah. It is a big country.
At least they'll have a strong army.
Well, maybe. The cartels are probably stronger.
They will be.
They're pretty strong now.
Yeah, pretty strong.
So
why are you doing that?
I don't know.
Are you wrapping us up? Are you watching the clock over there, Mr. Has all the controls?
Steve's giving me the stink eye.
Yeah, well, AdOutShow.com, Facebook.com/AdOutShow.
Get our shirt.
MyParentsOpenCarry.com. Yeah, AdOutShow.com.
$10.
Click on the left. Get a shirt.
Yep.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.